Hey guys, Cam for 15 back it up with another video for you guys. Back talking Chicago Bears football, which may potentially be the second to last time I talk about Chicago Bears football for the 2025 season, even though we're in 2026. But look, the Bears lost a game to the Lions. Could have beat the Lions, but I have no absolute clue whatever the fuck I just watched happened. I'll give the Bears credit. They made a valiant effort to try to come back and win the game. But look, it's just one of those times where it ain't going to happen. The Bears came out. They didn't play inspired football. They just didn't want to come out. They didn't want to come. They literally looked like they just didn't want to come out and play a game today. The starters looked like as if they probably should have never played today. And they should have just laid over and they should have just done what the Eagles did and just had the backups go in there and play. Complete, complete team loss. Complete team loss. Loss on the coaches, loss on the players, loss on everybody in the organization. A beatable game, a winnable game where realistically the only positive I can pull out of this game is the fact that you didn't give up 50 points this time like you did in week 2. So if there's something that's different, you didn't give up you didn't give up 50 points, albeit you still let Jared Goff have over 300 yards passing. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 139 yards receiving, and you couldn't stop nobody on their freaking offense. The only problem was there for their offense was Dan Campbell getting in the way every now and then. Just an embarrassing performance on all fronts from the Bears. And if you expect you want to go into next week at home against the Packers, and then you're gonna lay down for 3 quarters while the Packers are beating you guys, and then miraculously try to make a comeback and try to do what you did a few weeks ago, where you come back, take the game to overtime, and you win it. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. You damn well know Matt LaFleur is going to be prepared, have these guys prepared to say, hey, man, this is the second time, this is going to be the third time we're going to play these dudes. We cannot let our foot off the gas pedal. When we have these guys down, we need to put them away. I guarantee you, Matt LaFleur immediately on Monday morning is going to go call the players in and say, this is the third time. Round 1, we got lucky. Round 2, we blew it. Round 3, that can't happen. You damn well know Matt LaFleur is going to have the Packers prepared to play all 4 quarters and make sure when there's an opportunity to step on our throats and finish us off, he's going to make sure he does that. He's going to be preaching to his team. When we have the opportunity to kill these guys and put the dagger in their hearts to make sure they know they can't come back, even though they have that crazy belief, we're going to make sure we end this. Ben Johnson's message this week needs to be, we can't play like dog shit for 3 quarters and expect to do the miraculous comeback stuff. Because that shit is not going to work. That's not going to work. Not in the playoffs. And especially not against a team you're going to be playing going into round 3. So round 3 is going to be an intriguing matchup for national viewers, but it's going to be stressing me the hell out. Because I know every drive matters in the playoffs, offensively and defensively. If the Bears played like this today, like they play like this today, they play next week, we're going to lose to the Packers. Plain and simple. The offense did not come ready to play. The first drive up until you get to midfield looked fine. And then once we hit midfield, boom, that's when the offense just completely did absolutely nothing. The defense, when can I not say about the defense? The defense, yes, they limited the Lions to the field goals. 3 field goals and 1 touchdown. That's good. But overall, you still saw the same issues you saw over and over again. Guys getting beat, guys getting wide open, you can't stop the run, no pressure, little sacks, nada. And this was a Detroit Lions team that had mostly a backup offensive line in there. And you still get killed by Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jameson Williams. And you're still 0-2 in the Ben Johnson era against the goddamn Lions. When this should have been the game, you beat the Lions and you say, nah, not anymore. Your reign of terror is done. But it still seems like, I guess personnel-wise, we don't have the opposition to handle with them. Because a freaking Vikings team last week, with just a defense, realistically, had to handle these dudes with absolute ease. And the one time the defense actually did play really good was the drive after we scored the touchdown, forcing the freaking, or the one drive where after we get one of the touchdowns, lo and behold, Dan Campbell does something stupid and he tries to do a reverse to Jared Goff, but the Bears picked that up. That was probably the best play because there they showed the hustle there, they showed the drive to the ball, and that they needed to get a critical stop. But the defense just got to be better. The defense has got to be better. It's the same thing I said in the 49ers game recap. They ran the ball all over us. They passed the ball all over us, and there's not a damn thing you can do. Again, some Bear fans are going to be complaining, why didn't Dennis Allen blitz? Why does he keep standing in the freaking zone? Guess what, dumb dick? In the first quarter, he was blitzing all the time. He was blitzing these dudes. And guess what? Your back end can't hold up. Guys letting free releases. So many times I saw the DBs when they replayed some of these plays. Wide receivers getting free releases right off the ball. No detouring, no hands on the ball. I play defensive back. Number one thing I was always taught, get hands on the receiver, try to disrupt their route. I don't care how fast these dudes are. You gotta get hands on these dudes, disrupt their routes, stable it a bit more. Maybe that gives the defensive line an extra second to try to get to the quarterback. Something. Bears didn't do that. Like one of the plays, after we scored the game-tying touchdown, right? Jalen Johnson gets easily beat off the ball with a simple drag route because guess what? He doesn't put no hands on Jameson Williams. And also, too, he looks like he's still playing hurt because he plays slow. So I don't know if he's still hurt from his groin or whatever, which means why is he out there? Why is Tyreek Stevenson not out there? Which I didn't see Tyreek Stevenson actually playing today at all. I don't know why. So many times we had the Lions running backs, whether it was Gibbs or Montgomery, in the backfield, and the defense misses a fucking tackle. Whether you're the defensive line or the linebackers, or you're over pursuing, which means you just go right past them. Like, these are the things that cannot happen next week. And again, Bear fans will get on Dennis Allen as, oh, it's his fault for the whole issue. Well, yes, some of it is the fact that you got to adjust to what the team does. But at the same time, you can make all the adjustments in the world. At the end of the day, it comes down to the players on the field. Dennis Allen can't go out there and play for some of these players. They got to go out there and execute. If you've emptied the tank of everything you possibly can, whether it's certain adjustments or not, I'm sorry, you can't blame it on the coach. At the end of the day, it's on personnel, and we know. As of now, the personnel defensively, it's not good. This is the same personnel that was ran by Matt Eberflus, and you expect that Dennis Allen can come in and fix it? He can do some of the stuff, but altogether, if this team's not finding ways to turn the ball over, they're going to get gashed, and you just hope, hey, maybe we get to stop here and there, but we've mostly forced them to a field goal. That's the exact same shit we did with Eberflus. You want to know why? Because some of these players in defense were Eberflus selected players. Again, like I said it before, and I'll say it again. This entire defense needs to completely be overhauled, and there needs to be complete reevaluation on that side of the ball. There's only a few guys I'm deciding on bringing back or re-signing. Montez Sweat, you bring him back because he's your pass rusher. You need a pass rusher. But I'm telling Montez Sweat, we're cutting some of that salary because you're not living up to that contract. Kevin Byard, I'm re-signing him. If you bring back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, we saw, again, in this game, like I've been saying for multiple weeks, he cannot cover in the slot. And that's why guys like Kyler Gordon being injured all the goddamn time, and he can't stay on the field, it gives you a disadvantage from the slot corner position to the point, honestly, I don't care. Try Stevenson there at the slot corner position. At what point does that not hurt? Try him or try somebody else at the slot corner position. Because I'm sorry, I'm getting real tired of CJ Gardner-Johnson getting absolutely abused in the slot. He cannot cover in the slot. He is showing he is a better safety than a better corner. And I've said it time and time again. I let Jaquan Brisker walk, and you re-sign CJ Gardner-Johnson to maybe a 1 or 2 year deal, and you have him be safety. Kyler Gordon hopefully is healthy to be the slot corner, and there you go. That's why you miss a guy like Kyler Gordon who plays the slot corner position so well. And again, like I said it last week, you tell Kyler Gordon, we're cutting some of that salary. You're taking a pay cut because you can't stay healthy. Ben Johnson has already shown he's gotten annoyed with the fact that Kyler Gordon can't stay healthy. For all we know, maybe the Bears would just be like, you know what, screw it. We need him off the team because we can't trust him. He can't stay healthy. But the CJ Gardner-Johnson slot reps completely show you why we need Kyler Gordon in there. Because he was getting absolutely killed by Amon-Ra St. Brown in the slot every single time. And at some point, now, see, that's the point where I will get upset at Dennis Allen. At some point, some of the adjustments you can make is taking some players out and putting another player in and seeing if something else works. Like, I'm sorry. DeMarco Jackson should be getting some run because he was good for us. Every time he played for us, he was actually doing some good reps. If you're seeing your slot corner and CJ Gardner-Johnson getting burned by Amon-Ra St. Brown, no, you don't stick with it. You pull him out and you say, hey, man, get in there. Whoever the backup to his backup is. And you tell him, hey, man, limit to what he can do. Make him not be an option to go to, please. That's what I'll get on Dennis Allen about. When you're seeing a player get abused out there, you do him a favor. You get him out the game and you try somebody else. See if maybe that you can slow down what the opposing team is giving you. But they just kept letting it happen, and they kept getting killed by it. And you just let it happen. No changes, no double coverages, no nothing. That I will get on Dennis Allen about. What's the adjustment to that? You know it's 3rd and long. You know where they're going. On the 3rd and long where we get the interception right? Who was freaking Jared Goff eyeing? Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if it wasn't for a tip, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown catches that. But this is the exact crap I'm talking about. The personnel defensively is not good. They need a complete overhaul of everybody. You need to trade some of these big contracts off the team. And you need to go recoup and especially build in the trenches. I don't know if you're going to trade for one of these premier pass rushers. I don't know if you're going to offer Trey Hendrickson a crazy contract. I don't know what you're going to do. But whatever option you decide to do it, and you better damn sure you get one of the best of the best. If you draft, go take the best player available at edge rusher. And then after that, you go take the best available defensive tackle after that. Plain and simple. The defense, they played it almost, in terms of giving up yardage, they played exactly the way they played in San Francisco. The only difference is they only gave up 19 points. And even on that last drive, okay, your offense goes 3 and out. You need a stop. They don't allow it, right? They don't get that stop. And you let the Lions go down the field and get the game-winning walk-off field goal. Then offensively, I don't know what they were doing offensively. Ben Johnson was play calling like as if he didn't give a shit. I just don't know what he was doing out there. The players just didn't seem disinterested to not want to go out there and go play. Like, I don't know what the hell. Like, it seemed like they were running every single damn play of the game instead of passing it and putting it in your quarterback's hand. Same old shit that they didn't show up for 3 quarters. And then the one drive in the 4th quarter, they show up, they get a touchdown, they get some fire, and then they come back, they get another touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, tie the game. And then on the drive after the interception, I'm thinking, okay, 2 minutes, I think it was like 2:17 to go in the 4th quarter, right? I'm thinking, run the football, take a 2-minute warning. We pass it. And it's one of those passes where Caleb drops back a bit, tries to put it on Luther Burden, who I'm guessing wasn't expecting it. He tips it up and almost gets intercepted by a Lions player. So you would have given the Lions the ball back, which would have probably made the game lost right then and there. You just extended it a bit more. And then the second down play, okay, I think you're going to run. Maybe get 3-4 yards. Make it a third and manageable, right? No, we play action pass. Offensive line completely whiffs on their blocks. Caleb is pressured. He almost takes a sack, throws it away, but it's intentional grounding. Checked it down, drive over, game over. And Ben Johnson reverted back to the bullshit he was calling from the first 3 quarters, when it was basically a 0-0 game at that point. This is one of the first games where I'm absolutely pissed at him. He talked all throughout the week how, no, the starters are playing and we need this game. And the team comes out ill-prepared to play, like they're not even ready to play. This is one of the first games I came out, saw a scene where the team under Ben Johnson just didn't come prepared to play. Everybody just didn't come prepared to play. They played lackadaisical. They played like they were going through the motions. They played like they didn't care. They played, well, okay, if we get the 3rd seed, we get the 3rd seed. That means we got to go play San Francisco again. If they had lost, that's who they would have played. But hey, if we end up losing, but Commanders do us a favor by winning, okay, we'll go play the Packers for round number 3. It's the exact same. It's the stupid shit that I'm like, dude, these guys look like they're going through the motion. Like, I was legitimately saying, like, bro, why are the starters even in there? Like, why? Like, I'm sorry. And I blame that on Ben Johnson. You got to have your players prepared to play. You got to tell them there's urgency. We need to come into this game with urgency. And these guys went out there like through the motions. One of the better examples was on the interception Caleb threw. I don't know what the hell DJ Moore was doing. Now, Caleb Williams shouldn't have made that pass. Durham Smythe was wide open. Pass to the wide open guy. You don't throw it all the way back across your body. Like, that was a bad throw by Caleb. And then DJ Moore just completely gave up on the fucking play. He just gave up. No effort there. And I'm like, dude, pull the guys if they're not going to be playing out there. I would hope next week, because you're playing the Packers, and especially DJ Moore, for him after he got the game when he touched on last week, to say F the Packers. It's always F the Packers. I hope these guys show up next week for quarter number 1. Because if they don't, I'm sorry. The Packers are going to beat us. And God, help me if the Packers win next week, because then we're going to have all these damn Packer fans all in the DMs and pulling up receipts and saying, ha, 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 we beat you guys. Now, look, man, see, this is where you got to pick up. Now, I'm an Angels fan. I'm not a Cubs fan. But see, this is where you actually go help the other team from Chicago and the Cubs, because they lost in the playoffs to the Brewers, who are one of their rivals. This is where you say, hey, don't worry, Cubs, we got you. We'll beat the team in Wisconsin. Because if you lose to these guys, man, they're going to be talking the most shit. Matt LaFleur is going to be talking the most shit. And, hey, they'll have to go play Seattle. If we win, we got to go up to and go play them, which we're going to be playing them next year in Seattle next year, so whatever. But you get my point, right? There's a path to the Super Bowl there. You beat the Packers, you go find a way to go win in Seattle, and then guess what? You have the NFC Championship game in your building. So you can thank the Commanders coming up late and finding a way to win against the Eagles with their backups. It makes you question the fact that the Eagles were still in the game. It makes you question the fact, like, okay, then why didn't the Eagles not play their starters? Because if they had won, clearly they would have got the 2 seed. So I guarantee you that's going to be the conversation in Philadelphia. Why didn't we play the starters? With the way the Bears lost and the way they came out looking, the Eagles probably thought, oh, the Bears are probably going to blow out the fucking Lions, and they're going to probably beat these guys by like 2 scores or something. Now I bet you Eagle fans and other freaking the media in Philadelphia are like, man, why don't we play the starters? Because if we had played the starters, We could have had the second seed, and we would have been playing Green Bay at home, and we would have basically home field throughout the playoffs. And especially if we get to the next round and beat Seattle. Now we just let the Bears get the second seed, so anything can happen. So we go far enough, and we play these guys in the NFC Championship game. We got to go to their building. So you got lucky there. But you cannot be lackadaisical for 3 quarters, not show up for 3 quarters, and expect to win a game, especially next week against the Packers. So from quarter number 1, they can't be what you had in the second game, where you get all the way into the red zone and then you call one bullshit play that messes up the offense's complete mojo and legitimately just puts you out of sorts for the next 3 quarters. So we'll see. It's plain and simple. The defense got to get to Jordan Love, hit him hard. Freaking, I don't care. Get sacks, get stops. Don't let Christian Watson, don't let Romeo Doubs, don't let any of these other dudes beat you like crazy. Plain and simple. Then offense, no turnovers, run the ball, and make timely passes in good plays and play all 4 quarters. That's what this team needs to do. Play all 4 quarters. It was commendable on the offense to finally wake up for a bit. Took him 3 quarters to do it, but still. And then I need Ben Johnson, man. Ben Johnson just needs to trust his quarterback, open things up, have the play calls that his quarterback likes and is able to do good with. Because, like, when you let Caleb be Caleb, he'll help you. He'll be more of a multiplier than a negative. I just felt like Ben Johnson, he just had the gloves on the entire time and it was like, we're just gonna play passive. They didn't come prepared to play. The players came out passive. The coaching in terms of the offensive play calls played passive. They didn't do anything. And maybe they didn't want to tip their cap to either the Packers or the 49ers to see what they can do in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, like, you got to have some momentum going into the playoffs. So I guess to an extent, at least your offense maybe found somewhat of a rhythm going into the playoff game. So there's something there. The defense maybe a little bit, but whatever. I guess the good thing about playing the starters is you got the out of here. So then that means in the planning session next week you're on fire. I hope Rome's back. Hopefully Kyler Gordon is back, and hopefully you can go far. Now, personally, in my opinion, the team has already exceeded expectations. They're a year ahead. You know the changes that need to be made. So, whatever. I don't want to lose to the damn cheeseheads and have them have the bragging rights for one season. But if we got to go play these dudes, gotta go play these dudes. One of the first times we're in the playoffs and we have the opportunity. And the first time in a very long time. First time in a very long time where you have the crosstown rival, the hated rival, instead of us wanting to cheer for them to lose. You have the golden opportunity to knock them out yourself. This is the moment we've always been waiting for. Instead of me always having to be on my TV screen cheering for the other team to beat these guys and talking Nemo shit. Now is the time where, okay, now we can kick these guys out the playoffs and we can be the ones, even if we do go to Seattle next week, get eliminated by Seattle next week in the divisional round, at least we know, guess what? We beat these guys when it counted most, and we got bragging rights for a year. And then on top of it, Ben Johnson would live up to his word by beating the Packers twice in one season. That's why the urgency needs to be there. So hopefully they got all the BS out of their system this week. So we'll see the Lions next year. And hopefully we beat the Lions next year because that's some crap. And hopefully we have a better team. Because at least the positive I can only take out of this game is we didn't give up 50 points like we did in week 2. That's the only positive I can take out of this. Outside of that, everybody sucked. They all deserved Fs today. All deserved Fs. So they got to play better ball. They got week 3. They got a round 3 matchup against the Packers. You got to go out there and you got to go beat the Packers. Plain and simple. That's all you got to go do. Go beat the Packers. But it would be definitely depressing if you lose to the Packers and it ends your season. Overall, it'll be a successful season, and there's definitely improvements to be made, but it's only going to hurt even more if you lose to them for the second time this year, and most importantly, in the playoffs. But there's things with this team that when the offseason comes, we can talk about it. I'll definitely have a video just covering the whole season with my Uncle Daryl and this whole season recap, and we can talk about how the season went, things that they need to do better, and things like that. But look, man, just an embarrassing performance on all fronts today. Team's got to be better. Plain and simple. So hopefully next week against the Packers, we show up for all 4 quarters and we beat the Packers next week. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask for. And you send them home and then you send them to Cancun. Because the Packers are a beatable team. They're a beatable team. You can argue and you can make sense. The matchup against the Packers is better suited than our matchup against the 49ers. But we'll see when the time comes. Anyways, I'll be back next week for Bears game recap. Potentially maybe the final Bears recap of the season. Now that we're in the playoffs, so yeah. But anyways, gonna get out of here, guys. Catch you guys next video. See you guys next week. Hopefully my Uncle Daryl is on the playoff video as well, because I know he hasn't been doing game recaps the last few, well, realistically all this year, because most of the Bears games have been either the late slate of games, if not the night, the primetime night game. Now I fully expect this game to be maybe the Sunday night football game of the wild card round. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. We will see. And it may actually, maybe, let me check in. Let me see. They actually got. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, they haven't confirmed anything in terms of, they haven't confirmed nothing of like what game, so whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna go over, guys. Catch you guys in this video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day or your night or when you're seeing this video, and I will be back. Hopefully not for the last time for Bears game recap for Bears Packers 3. Until then, guys, catch you guys later. And look, man, in the playoffs now. Till then, guys, peace.